Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Canal Days, What Life is Like in the Industrial Connecticut River Valley of Massachusetts. I am your host, Carrie, and joining us today is Holyoke's very own local historian and creator of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Comu. He personally offers and leads public and private tours, as well as presentations of historical sites located within communities throughout the state of Massachusetts. Currently, the communities he has chosen to focus on this year are Holyoke, Chicopee, South Hadley, and East Hampton, and also Granby and Amherst as well. His tours spotlight the local canals, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, as well as various parks, streets, and selected historical houses within each community. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the Emmanuel Congregational Church, located in Springfield, Massachusetts. So, where in Springfield is this church located?
Yes, it's on 761 Sumner Avenue at the corner with White Street. And that's easy to find, of course. Now, today we're going to talk about the Emmanuel Congregational Church, but also its parish house, which is alongside of it. And we're also going to talk about the architectural style of both of those. And we're going to talk about what each has turned into, and hopefully some comments upon how it looks. And thus, I hope you follow along. It has its own webpage, of course, and that's a place where I'll keep up with information for you to get as much going as possible upon this church. It's kind of a church that doesn't have much information, but notice it's another congregational church. And that means that I know of at least 7 congregational churches in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is incredible. And this one was named after a term within religion. Some of them are just numbers, and some are named after geographic areas. This one's named Emmanuel.
And what is the style of the church?
The church itself is a Gothic revival style, and it has a nice steeple to it, and it seems to be well taken care of. It has 2 large arches along the sides of it, and I would call it a rather plain looking church otherwise, and now you might want to know a little bit about its history. At least it was from the year 1926, and thus in a couple of years it's going to be 100 years old, so it's 98 years old at this point.
And really quick, before we continue with the rest of our interview, just to fill our listeners in, if you want to find out more information or sign up for any of his various tours, you can check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And there you can find videos and podcasts of the stops along each of his tours, as well as photos and text of the historical sites throughout as well. And for private tours and other inquiries, you can email him directly at bobcat4214, and his tours make for fun educational outdoor activities for families and group parties. So getting back to our interview. Is there anything you can tell us about the parish house?
Yes, there's quite a bit I can tell you about it. It's attached to the back left side, and the parish house, sure, you might want to call that, but in the beginning it was a Sunday school. It's very large compared to the church itself. And so it has a nice look. I would call it a kind of an English look to it. And nowadays it's back to a parish hall. And what that means is after the church, a lot of Protestants like to have a social hour and have some food. Some people will congregate in a little group and read some more of the scriptures. Others will just socialize. And so it had different functions through the year. And his function is not much different from what it is in the past. There's also a nice little parking lot on the side.
And describe the church campus now.
All right. So the church campus now is owned by a different group. And that group is the Harvest Fellowship Church Incorporated. So it's a Protestant church still, and they still maintain both the church and parish hall very well. Remember I told you the church is 98 years old, still in great shape. That parish hall is from 1939, so it too is getting up in ages, but I noticed when I was walking around it, it seems to be well maintained. And I have never been inside this particular church, but remember I'll build this church's webpage up and get more information about it, what it looks inside, try to get some of the stained glass windows, pictures, so forth. So I hope you visit there, and thank you again.
And thank you, Robert, for educating us on your tours and historical topics of your expertise. And we want to thank our listeners for tuning in. And you can check out a large selection of our other podcasts on his website, as well as on SoundCloud.com. And be sure to stay up to date with new podcasts and videos posted daily. And thank you, and hope you join us again.